Today, we will settle the debate once and for all of who has the better credit card lineup, American Express or Chase. So grab a good snack because we are going to go over 17 products from American Express and 26 products from Chase and ultimately crown a winner of the best credit card lineup. You can learn more about all of these products that we're about to cover using the links down below the like button, but let's get started with American Express. All right, so among the 17 personal credit cards that American Express currently offers, some give you cash back in the form of rewards, while others give you points that can be redeemed in a number of different ways, including travel. So let's start off with the free cash back products and work our way up to some of the more insane products that American Express offers. By far, my favorite free credit card from American Express is the Bluecash Everyday Card. This has no annual fee, currently offers a $200 sign-up bonus when you spend $2,000 in the first 6 months, and gives you really great cash back like 3% on groceries, 3% at US retail purchases, 3% on gas, and 1% on all other purchases. It also gives you additional credits towards things like Disney Plus and Home Chef, but that 3% cash back is capped at $6,000 in purchases each year, and beyond that you're just going to earn 1%, and there is also a foreign transaction fee, so I'll be putting the Everyday Card in the B tier. Next up, we've got the Cash Magnet, which is much more simple, offering 1.5% unlimited cash back on all of your purchases, and the same $200 cash sign-up bonus when you spend $2,000 in the first few months. But despite the fact that this also has no annual fee, it's hard to get excited about 1.5% back, in my opinion, when there are a number of products that give you 2% unlimited cash back with no annual fee. So because of that, I'll be putting this card in the C tier. The third product on today's list is the regular American Express Everyday Credit Card, which in place of cash back gives you 2 points per dollar on groceries and 1 point on all other purchases. You also get a 10,000 point bonus when you spend $2,000 in the first 6 months, and depending on how you redeem those points, they should be worth a bare minimum of $100. Again, this card has no annual fee, and you can even earn a 20% bonus point boost if you use your card 20 times or more in a statement cycle. Nothing to get too excited about here, so I'll also be putting this one in the C tier, but don't worry, we are rapidly working our way towards some of the best credit cards on the market. The next card with no annual fee is actually one of my favorite products from American Express across the board right now, and that would be the standard Hilton Honors card. Now, there's a few more premium versions of this product that we'll talk about later, but even though this does have no annual fee, it still offers an 80,000 Hilton Honors point bonus when you spend $1,000 in the first 3 months, 7 points per dollar on Hilton hotels and resorts, 5 points on US restaurants, supermarkets, and gas stations, and 3 points on all other purchases. You also get complimentary Hilton Honors Silver status and no foreign transaction fees, and while Hilton Honors points are only worth half as much as American Express points, those are still some pretty crazy bonus categories, so for no annual fee, I'll be putting this one in the A tier. That brings us to the last American Express product that has no annual fee, and that would be the Delta SkyMiles Blue American Express card. Similar to the Hilton Honors card that we just looked at, there are 4 different versions of the Delta SkyMiles card, but the blue version has no annual fee and gives you a 10,000 mile bonus when you spend $500 in the first 3 months, as well as 2 miles on dining in restaurants, 2 miles per dollar on Delta purchases, and 1 point or mile on all other purchases. Delta miles are the same as points, and again, with no foreign transaction fee, this is a decent product that I'll be putting in the B tier. Let's be honest, nothing too exciting so far, but now let's move into the intermediate credit cards and ultimately work our way up to those crazy high annual fee, but high reward options. Sticking with the Delta SkyMiles cards for a second, the next option above the free blue version is the Delta SkyMiles Gold American Express card. Now, they do waive the annual fee currently for the first year as an intro offer, but after that, you're looking at $99 per year, which compared to what we're about to talk about later in this video is not that bad. This card gives you a 40,000 mile bonus when you spend $1,000 in the first 3 months, as well as 2 miles per dollar on dining, groceries, and all Delta purchases, and 1 mile on all other purchases. You also get a free checked bag on all Delta flights and a $100 annual Delta flight flight credit, which sounds great, but you only get that after you spend $10,000, which is a little bit ridiculous in my opinion. That being said, if you do frequently fly with Delta, then depending on what ticket class you purchase, that free checked bag alone could pay for the $99 annual fee. So while it's not my favorite product because it is airline specific, it's still a decent product for sure that I'll be putting in the B tier. There is one more Delta SkyMiles card in this mid-tier category, and that would be the Delta SkyMiles Platinum American Express card. This gives you a 50,000 mile bonus and a 5,000 medallion qualification mile bonus when you spend $2,000 in the first 3 months, as well as 3 miles per dollar on Delta purchases and hotels, 2 miles per dollar on dining and grocery stores, and 1 mile per dollar on all other purchases. You are going to get some premium benefits like Delta Sky Club access, free checked baggage and priority boarding, and even an annual companion certificate allowing you to bring someone with you along for the ride. But at $250 per year, I think that there's a much better option that we're going to talk about next, so I'll be putting this one in the C tier. You've probably noticed this by now, but I'm personally not a huge fan of brand-specific credit cards, such as the Delta SkyMiles card, which is why I love this next product so much, and that would be the American Express Gold Card. This is actually the first American Express card that I ever opened myself, and I absolutely love my Gold Card. I use it and carry it with me every single day, and while it also has a fairly high annual fee of $250 per year, I think it is an annual fee that is quite easy to justify. First of all, they offer you a sign-up bonus that usually ranges from 60,000 points to 90,000 points or more when you spend just a few $1,000s in the first couple months. But you're also looking at 4 points per dollar at restaurants and grocery stores, 3 points per dollar on flights booked through American Express, and 1 point per dollar on all other purchases, not to mention the $120 dining credit and $120 Uber cash credit, which combined almost entirely pay for the annual fee on their own. I personally spend way too much money on dining, which is why I'll be putting this product in the A tier. Rounding out our first half of cards would be the American Express Everyday Preferred card, which is the more premium version of the Everyday card that we looked at earlier. This version is $95 per year, but gives you 15,000 points when you spend $2,000 in the first 6 months, offers you 3 points per dollar on groceries on up to $6,000 in purchases each year, 2 points on gas, and 1 point on everything else. Plus, if you use this card 30 times or more in a statement cycle, which is just 1 month, you get 50% extra points, which is pretty substantial. Not bad, but at $95 per year, American Express actually has a much better option that we haven't yet looked at, so be sure to stick around for that one, but I'll be putting this card in the C tier. All right, we are officially halfway and have a pretty balanced list so far, but we've still got the best S tier products to come, as well as a D tier product that absolutely sucks, so be sure to stick around for those. Sticking with the $95 annual fee category, next is the mid-tier option from the Hilton Honors cards, which is the Hilton Honors Surpass credit card. For $95 per year, you get a 130,000 point bonus when you spend $2,000 in the first 3 months, as well as 12 points per dollar on Hilton hotels and resorts, 6 points on dining, grocery stores, and gas stations, and 3 points on all other purchases. Plus, you get complimentary Hilton Gold status and 10 Priority Pass visits each year, which for an average traveler should be plenty. At that low annual fee, you're getting some pretty premium benefits, so I'm going to be putting this card in the A tier. Next up, we have by far my favorite credit card in this $95 category, and perhaps my favorite credit card across the board right now, and that is the American Express Bluecash Preferred card. This is the bigger brother of the Bluecash Everyday card that we talked about earlier, but for $95 per year, it is well worth it. Right now, they will waive the annual fee for the first year and give you a $300 cash bonus when you spend $3,000 in the first 6 months. You also get 6% cash back on grocery stores, US streaming services, 3% on transit, including ride-sharing platforms, 3% on gas, and 1% back on all other purchases, plus a $120 Equinox Plus credit. The only gripe I have with this card is that there is still a 2.7% foreign transaction fee, but assuming you are mostly using this card in the US, it's honestly a no-brainer. And for the first time today, I'll be putting this card in the S tier. All right, we have officially moved out of the intermediate category and now have 5 of the most expensive and arguably best credit cards from American Express remaining. Before we get to those though, we have to talk about the worst product on today's list, and that is the American Express Serve card. You've probably never heard of this card before, and technically it's a prepaid debit card, and while it absolutely does serve a purpose for very specific scenarios, no pun intended, if you are not able to qualify for a credit card, then maybe it makes sense. However, it charges a monthly fee of $7 to $8, but offers very limited benefits, so unless you absolutely cannot qualify for any other credit card, I would personally avoid this one at all costs, so I'll be putting the Serve card in the D tier. Now that we've got that out of the way, things are about to get very expensive. The only reasonably priced card remaining is the American Express Green Card, which costs $150 per year, gives you a 40,000 point bonus when you spend $2,000 in the first 6 months, and also gives you 3 points at restaurants, transit, and travel purchases, and 1 point on all other purchases. You also get a $100 credit put towards your Clear membership each year, plus a $100 Lounge Buddy credit, so considering this card has no foreign transaction fee, I think it's reasonably priced for a frequent traveler, so I'll be putting it in the A tier. Hold on to your wallet, because next we have the most premium version of the Hilton Honors card, and that would be the Hilton Honors Aspire card, coming in at $450 per year. For that whopping annual fee, you get a 150,000 Hilton point bonus when you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months, 14 points per dollar on Hilton hotels and resorts, 7 points per dollar on select travel and dining purchases, and 3 points per dollar on all other purchases. Now, I want to remind you that Hilton points are only worth half as much as a standard credit card points, but you do also get complimentary Hilton Diamond status and a $250 Hilton statement credit. So assuming you'd be staying at a Hilton property at some point throughout the year if you have this card, then that lowers the effective annual fee to just $200. But for such a high annual fee, I think the next product is actually a much better option, so I'll be putting the Aspire card in the B tier. The next card is a direct competitor to the Hilton Honors cards, and that would be the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant card, also coming in at $450 per year. This gives you a 75,000 point bonus when you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months, as well as 6 points per dollar on Marriott hotel purchases, 3 points on dining and flights, and 2 points on all other purchases. But the real benefit here is the $300 Marriott Bonvoy statement credit, 1 free night at a Marriott property, and $100 in Marriott Bonvoy property credits. So you'd really have to frequently stay at a Marriott property in order to justify this card, but if you do, it will easily pay for itself, and because of that, I'll be putting it in the A tier. All right, we are running out of space on our chart and running out of money to spend on premium credit cards. But before we get to the most expensive product on today's list, next up we've got the most premium version of the Delta SkyMiles card, which is the Delta SkyMiles Reserve card. For $550 per year, you get to choose between metal or 70% recycled plastic, I guess because 100% recycled plastic is too difficult, but you get a 50,000 mile bonus and 10,000 medallion qualification miles when you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months. Plus you get 3 points per dollar on all Delta purchases and 1 point on all other purchases. And also, for those of you that are wondering, the medallion points is just Delta's loyalty program that basically upgrades you to premium status. So if you're trying to achieve medallion status with Delta, then this is kind of a cheat code in order to get there, because you're also going to get 15,000 medallion miles on top of the regular sign-up bonus if you spend $30,000 per year on this card. Not only do you get access to the Delta Sky Club lounges, but you also get access to the American Express Centurion lounges, so that is a nice bonus. But that being said, for such a high annual fee, I just don't like the idea of being totally locked into the Delta system, and unless you live near a Delta hub or just frequently fly with Delta, then really it doesn't make a lot of sense, so I'll be putting this one in the C tier. And last, but certainly not least, coming in at a whopping $695 per year is, of course, the American Express Platinum card. This card requires no introduction, but for that hefty annual annual fee, you're looking at a sign-up bonus of usually at least 100,000 points or more, as well as a ton of credits like a $200 hotel credit, a $240 digital entertainment credit, a $155 Walmart Plus credit, and the list goes on. Again, I've done a full review on this product, but if you add up all of the credits that they currently offer, it usually equates to nearly $1,500 in value. So even if you use a fraction of them, it shouldn't be too difficult to justify this annual fee. Plus, on top of that, you're looking at 5 points per dollar on all flights and hotels booked through American Express, and 1 point on all other purchases. Obviously, this card is geared towards travel fanatics like myself, but you need to carefully consider the various credits and point multipliers to make sure that you can actually justify that ridiculous annual fee. Personally, I don't think it's too difficult, and considering it gives you some of the most premium benefits in the industry, I'll be putting the Platinum card in the A tier. All right, that is everything from American Express, so take a second to digest all of the information that I just threw at you, but if you thought that was a lot, Chase has even more credit cards. So let's get started with those, and then we will compare everything and decide which one is the best overall. So Chase currently has 36 credit cards that range from personal products, their business products, airline-specific credit cards, cashback credit cards, and everything in between. So we are going to focus specifically on the personal credit card side of things from Chase, but trust me, there is plenty there to keep us busy for a while. So first up is the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. This is probably the most popular cashback credit card from Chase currently, offering a $200 cash bonus when you spend just $500 in the first 3 months, and 5% back on gas stations on up to $6,000 in purchases in your first year. This product has no annual fee and also gives you 5% back on travel purchases through Chase, 3% on dining, including takeout and delivery services, and 1.5% cash back on all other purchases. It is a great product, but we've got a lot of better products coming, so we're just going to put this one in the A tier. A common debate is between the Chase Freedom Unlimited card and our next product, which is the Chase Freedom Flex card. This card offers the exact same sign-up bonus that we just talked about and also has no annual fee, but in place of 1.5% cash back on everything else, you instead just earn 1% cash back on all other purchases, but receive 5% cash back on specific rolling categories on up to $1,500 in purchases each quarter. This is a very similar structure to something like the Discover It credit card, and considering it still offers you the same 5% cash back on Chase travel purchases and 3% on dining, including takeout and drugstores, you'll want to carefully look at your spending habits to decide which of these first two products is actually best for you. Personally, I don't love having to track spending multipliers and rolling categories, so I'll be putting this card in the C tier. These next three products are all Southwest Rapid Rewards products, with the cheapest one being the Rapid Rewards Plus card, coming in at $69 per year. This offers you 50,000 points after you make your first qualifying purchase, as well as 3,000 anniversary points, 2 points per dollar on all Southwest purchases, and 1 point per dollar on everything else. The Rapid Rewards Premier is slightly more expensive at $99 per year and offers you the same 50,000 point bonus, 6,000 anniversary points each year, and 3 points on all Southwest purchases, and 1 point on everything else. And lastly, we have the Rapid Rewards Priority card coming in at $149 per year, which again gives you the same 50,000 point bonus, but this one gives you a $75 annual Southwest credit, 75,000 anniversary points, as well as 3 points on all Southwest purchases. And as I've said before, I personally don't like brand-specific credit cards, so I'll be putting all three of these in the C tier. Sticking with the ladders of brand-specific credit cards for a second, United offers 4 different credit cards that range from not really worth it to insanely expensive. First, we've got the United Gateway card, which has no annual fee, gives you a 20,000 mile bonus after your first qualifying purchase, and 2 miles on all United purchases, gas stations, local transit, and commuting, plus 25% back on all in-flight and club purchases with no foreign transaction fees. Nothing to write home about here, so I'll be putting this one in the B tier. But second is the United Explorer card, giving you 50,000 miles after a qualifying purchase, 2 miles on United purchases, dining and hotel stays, plus a free checked bag, all for just $95 per year, with your first year's annual fee being waived entirely. The free checked bag alone is worth it in my opinion, so this one will go in the A tier. There's two other pretty crazy products from United that we'll save for later in the video as we work our way up to some of the more expensive and crazy credit cards from Chase. All right, but switching to the hospitality side of things, we've got the Marriott Bonvoy card, which has no annual fee, gives you 30,000 points after you spend $1,000 in the first 3 months, and a fairly random assortment of point multipliers and different benefits. So because it's really unclear, I'll be putting this one in the C tier. But Marriott also offers the Bonvoy Boundless card, which gives you 3 free nights after you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months, plus the same random assortments of different point multipliers for $495 per year, making it one of the most expensive products on today's list. But despite how expensive this card is, it actually easily pays for itself because of those free hotel stays. So for that reason only, I'll be putting this one in the A tier. Similar to Marriott, IHG also offers a no annual fee card called the Rewards Traveler Card, giving you 80,000 points when you spend $2,000 in the first 3 months, and point rewards on every purchase that you make that again are kind of all over the place. But you're going to lock yourself into a specific hotel brand, and you're probably way better off just getting a completely different card or the IHG Rewards Premier, so I'll be putting this Rewards Traveler card in the B tier. The Rewards Premier card, however, gives you a 140,000 point bonus, a free night after you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months, and up to 26 points per dollar on specific purchases, all for $99 per year. So I'll be putting this card in the A tier. All right, switching back to airlines, we've got Iberia, Aer Lingus, and British Airways, who all have their own basically identical credit cards with Chase, and all of them offer the same 100,000 Avios bonus points, which is just their alliance point for loyalty programs, and that is when you spend $20,000 in your first year, but you're still going to get 75,000 Avios points if you spend $5,000 or more. All three of these cards come in at $95 per year and offer identical point multipliers that can be used interchangeably across all three of these Alliance airlines. So I'll be putting all three of these cards in the C tier. We are officially halfway there, and honestly, with so many cards in the C tier, this has kind of been a snooze so far, but don't worry, we still have some of the best Chase credit cards yet to come, including one of my favorite credit cards, not only from Chase, but across the board right now. Stepping away from airline credit cards for a second, we have 2 Amazon Rewards cards, the first of which being the Amazon Rewards Visa card, which gives you a $50 Amazon gift card, as well as 3% back at Amazon.com, gas stations, and drugstores, and 1% back on everything else. So considering this card has no annual fee, it's honestly a no-brainer, so I'll be putting it in the A tier. However, the only reason you wouldn't get that last product is if you are an Amazon Prime member, like most of us probably are, because in that case, you'd be better off getting the Amazon Prime Rewards Visa card. This again has no annual fee, assuming of course that you are an Amazon Prime member, and gives you a $100 Amazon gift card, plus 5% cash back on all Amazon purchases, 2% back at restaurants, gas stations, and drugstores, and 1% back on everything else. I have personally had this credit card for a long time, and if you frequently make purchases on Amazon, then it is absolutely a no-brainer. So for the first time today, I'll be putting the Amazon Prime Visa Rewards card in the S tier. On the other end of the spectrum, however, we have 2 cards that are laughable, starting with the Chase Freedom Student Credit Card. Now, honestly, with no annual fee and a $50 bonus plus 1% cash back on all of your purchases, this card isn't that terrible. However, considering Discover basically owns the market of student credit cards, I just don't see any reason why anyone would get this product. So because of that, I'll be putting this one in the D tier. And as if things couldn't get any worse, we have the Slate Edge card, which has no annual fee, but is basically meant to be used as a balance transfer card, offering you low intro APR for the first 18 months, no planning fees, a lowering interest rate by 2% each year, and some other completely pointless benefits that only apply if you aren't using your credit card properly. So because of that, I'll be putting this one in the D tier as well, and if there was anything lower than that, it would probably go there instead. Sticking with our theme of why in the world does this exist, before we get to some of the more awesome products, we have the Disney Visa and Disney Premier Visa cards. I won't read you all of the benefits of these pointless products because if you know, you know, but unless you are a Disney Vacation Club member or just absolutely obsessed with all things Disney, then I don't even know why these products exist. And considering they give you Disney Rewards dollars, it really just isn't worth it. So despite the fact that I love a trip to Disney World just as much as the next guy, both of these products are also going to belong in the D tier. All right, maybe I've been a little bit too harsh these past few cards, so let's turn things around and talk about one of the most popular Chase credit cards, if not one of the most popular credit cards, period. And that, of course, would be the Chase Sapphire Preferred. This is the little brother to a more premium product that we're going to talk about later in the video, but for just $95 per year, you're looking at a 60,000 point bonus when you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months, plus premium dining and travel rewards with 5 points per dollar on Chase travel purchases, 3 points on dining at restaurants, including delivery services, and 2 points on all other travel purchases. This card just gives you a lot of premium benefits and access to the Chase point system for a very low annual fee, which is why it's one of the most popular mid-tier travel cards out there right now, and that's why it belongs in the S tier. Our last hospitality card is the World of Hyatt credit card, which gives you 60,000 bonus points as a sign-up offer, plus 4 points per dollar on Hyatt hotels and 5 points on eligible World of Hyatt membership purchases. The sign-up bonus is a little bit confusing with multiple hoops that you have to jump through, and the point multipliers are just as confusing as well, and it just doesn't make any sense for $95 per year. So I hate to say it, but this product also belongs in the D tier. The AeroPlan Card is another airline-specific product, giving you 70,000 points after you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months of having this card, as well as various point multipliers on different shopping categories and travel purchases. But again, at $95 per year, it's just bad, and I don't know why you would get something like this over something like the Sapphire Preferred. So I'll be putting this one in, you guessed it, the D tier. All right, we have 3 of the craziest, most expensive, and coolest products remaining, but before we get to those, we have the last of the why does this exist credit cards, and that would be the Instacart Mastercard. Now, this one sounds ridiculous, and it kind of is at first glance, but you do get a free year of Instacart Plus and a $100 Instacart credit in your first year, plus you get 5% cash back on Instacart purchases, as well as travel purchases through Chase, and 2% back on restaurants, gas stations, and select streaming services, all for no annual fee. So as odd as it sounds, this product is actually kind of useful. So because of that, I'll be putting it in the A tier. I know we have been all over the map with this one, but hold on to your wallets because things are about to get really expensive. The third of 4 United credit cards is the United Quest, coming in at $250 per year and giving you a 70,000 point bonus after a qualifying purchase, and $125 in annual United credits, as well as an anniversary bonus, 3 miles per dollar on United purchases, and 2 miles on other travel purchases. So while it's not the most compelling product in the world, if you do fly with United frequently, then it might actually be worth it. So I'll be putting this one in the B tier. But if you thought that was crazy, the last United card is the United Club Infinite card, which for $525 per year gives you an 80,000 point bonus upon your first qualifying purchase, instant access to the United Club lounges, plus 2 free checked bags, and the ability to earn 4 points per dollar on United purchases and 2 points on all other travel purchases. Honestly, this one is almost easier to justify than the last card, and in my mind, it almost pays for itself just because of the lounge access and 2 free checked bags. So because of that, even though you're locked into the United system, I'll be putting this one in the B tier. And last but not least, or actually maybe least, is the king of the Chase credit cards, at least in terms of the annual fee, and that would be, of course, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, coming in at $550 per year, plus $75 for each additional authorized user, if we're being technical. For that whopping annual fee, you get a lackluster 60,000 point bonus when you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months, which is honestly a laughable sign-up bonus for a card that is so expensive, as well as 5 points on flights and 10 points on hotels and rental cars booked through Chase Ultimate Rewards, but that only applies after you spend $300 on travel annually. This card used to be so compelling, and beyond being a status symbol in itself, was actually at the top of the premium credit card space. But with increased competition, increasing annual fees, and benefits that get beat out by many $95 annual fee credit cards, the Sapphire Reserve is just a shell of its former self. So while I know I will be completely belittled in the comment section for this, I truly do believe that for such a high annual fee, the Sapphire Reserve belongs in the D tier. That's everything from Chase. So again, let yourself digest all of that information for a second. But before crowning a winner, we still have to talk about the biggest differentiator in my opinion, and that is the travel portals and the transfer partners. Now, if you want a deep dive into maximizing point values and transfer partners, then I have made entire dedicated videos on that topic for both American Express and Chase. But to give you a high-level overview, since both of these products offer you points instead of cash back, it is important to maximize the point values that you're getting out of those points. Now, the most common way that people go about this is by redeeming points directly through the card provider's website, which in this case is the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal and the American Express travel site. And from that perspective, things are once again fairly similar. But using the transfer partners is the best way to maximize point values. So what's important in the world of transfer partners is having as many options as possible. And with American Express, you're looking at 19 total transfer partners compared to Chase's 11. You can see the whole comparison here, but some of the most notable differences where American Express transfers and Chase does not would be the ANA Mileage Club program, Etihad Airways, and Delta SkyMiles. And when it comes to hotel partners, American Express transfers to Hilton Honors and Choice Privileges, while Chase does not. However, this goes in both directions because Chase transfers to partners like Southwest Rapid Rewards and United's MileagePlus program, while American Express does not, and Chase also transfers to the World of Hyatt and IHG Rewards club programs, which once again, American Express does not. So yes, the total number of transfer partners with American Express is quite a bit higher, but that decision is ultimately going to depend on where you are most frequently transferring your points. So ultimately, Chase does have more credit card options by a pretty significant margin, but your decision is going to depend on what products you are specifically looking for, how you like each travel portal, and of course, what transfer partners are most important to you. Having used dozens of Chase and American Express products myself and used each of their travel portals and websites for years now, I personally believe that American Express is the better, simplified credit card lineup. They also have better customer service, at least in my experience, and like I said, the additional transfer partners that Chase does not currently cover are honestly the final nail in the coffin. But let me know what you think of this down in the comment section and what your favorite credit cards are from each company. Again, be sure to check out the links down below the like button to learn more about the many products that we talked about today. And if you're still watching at this point in the video, I genuinely want to say thank you so much for your time. Take it easy, and I will see you in the next one.